Hello there, my name's Simon and I'm going to tell you about how I've changed my ST1100 to have a Bandit alternator fitted onto it. Now, the reason I've done this is because my bike seized up on me, and what had happened is corrosion had developed in the alternator and it had swollen on the windings, it smashed the case open and it seized the armature into the winding, resulting in basically a seized engine. I've done did some costing, found out that a replacement alternator was going to cost me £485 from David Silver Spares in the UK, or 300 to 350 second hand on eBay. Now the trouble with buying a second hand one is the reason that my alternator failed was because there's a design flaw with the ST1100 in that the rear wheel arch, it finishes just above the alternator, so all the road debris goes straight into the alternator and salt builds up, and that's what causes the corrosion. I've got my my old alternator here, and you'll see what happens is, I'll just get it into the camera, just here corrosion builds up between the inner coil and the casing, and that causes the casing to swell out and the coil to compress in. Okay, it eventually closes up and it seizes on the armature. So this is the problem that I've got. So the last thing I really wanted to do was buy another alternator off an ST1100. You see, the ST1100s, they've all got this design problem, and most UK riders seem to be suffering this problem, possibly due to the salt that's used on the roads. So we don't want to be using a second-hand one, so I started looking around for alternatives, maybe fitting a different alternator. The nearest fit I could find is off a Suzuki Bandit. Now for this modification to work, you need to use your original shaft from your ST1100, that's this bit inside. Okay, the reason for this is your ST1100, the alternator is driven by a spline here, and the Bandit is actually driven by a gear. Okay, so that's the difference. There is another difference which we'll talk about later on, but you need to make sure for my kit or my modification design to work, I need to reuse the centre part of the alternator. Right, so I've put together a kit which basically has all you need in order for this modification to work. It involves a conversion plate, there's a couple of special bolts there, and that's basically it. There's been a lot of research gone into this to make it work. Please don't, you know, if you do buy this, please don't post too much detail about it. It's my design, and I'd like to keep it as my my benefit. Okay, that's the introduction over. See the next part, and we'll talk about stripping down your alternator.